Well, exactly the same as I thought before he stood up and started talking. They're avoiding all the issues. Every government does it. Year after year, decade after decade, they're avoiding the main issues, and they're putting out gimmicks about helping first-time buyers or taking a penny off fuel and all this. But it's not the main issue is the vast amount of debt, A, in our society, in households, B, held by the government, and C, the bad debts held by the banks. That's the thing that's constricting our growth.
Well, he would say that he's trying to deal with the government's debt with all the spending cuts that we've already heard about, but you, the smile on your face suggests that you don't think he's doing enough.
They're taking a very blunt knife to public sector spending. In other words, not aggressive cuts. They're actually adding on.
Some people would say it's quite aggressive.
Well, try living in Ireland or Greece or Spain. That's aggressive cuts because they have zero option. They're adding £514 billion in borrowings over the next 5 years. That's not what I call cutting.
But how can he cut more? I mean, I accept what you're saying. He should cut harder, he should cut deeper, he should cut faster. But people are starting to lose their jobs, will increasingly lose their jobs. They will say, well, it feels pretty bad to me.
Everyone wants growth, but you can't have growth with the backdrop, with the weight of debt on everyone's shoulders. Until you get rid of the rotten apples from the barrel, you cannot get the economy moving again. And the rotten apples, as I say, is the vast amount of debt in our society in all spheres, government, banking, and indeed in households. It's not just about cutting spending, which we absolutely have to do. And I'll tell you what, I think after the next election, they'll do even more. It's also about letting the banks fail. We're propping them up, and yet they're seeping us of money year after year. The vast amount of money we gave them a couple of years ago, and yet where's the benefits? Where's the economic growth? Where's the savers getting good interest rates?
The loans.
Where's the loans? Exactly. Where's the mortgage? And that's the point. We didn't give them money. We didn't give them nearly £1 trillion. Think about how much money that is. We didn't give them that to get the economy going. We did it for purely political reasons, and this government is basically no different from the previous one in that they're keeping the system going and pretending that there's no major problem, and yet it's at least as big a problem as the 1930s.
And so in your view, if we carry along the path that we're going, what ultimately happens?
We're in a 20-year depression. I refer you to Japan, not the god-awful situation they've got right now. They've been in depression for 22 years. And what have they been doing? They've been pretending that there's no problem. They've been borrowing and spending for 20 years. And now they're in a situation where they owe 200% of the size of their economy. And although Ed Osborne's talking about we're going to 71% of borrowings, we'll carry on, we'll borrow even more and more and more until we get to the exact same situation. If, however, we cut the rot out of the system, if we have some pain, then we can get some gain. Until we get pain, we can't get any gain.